There's one crucial mistake almost all the CPG and Ecom brands I audit make again and again and again that's causing them to lose out on what could potentially be 40% of missed sales. But more importantly, it's the single biggest thing causing their brand that may have the best product in the world from turning their brand to where it is now to becoming the next Olipop, from becoming the next Gymshark, from becoming the next Liquid Death. And it's the single biggest thing stopping them from taking their company to the next level. Listen, my name's Alex. I'm with IX Media. We help CPG and Ecom brands scale their business. I've worked with multiple brands making well over $30,000 a month, and I'm here to show you that answer. So the question is, what's the thing that's causing them to lose out on 40% of missed sales? Like, what is the thing? You may think it's maybe not having the best ads. You may think it may be not having the best website. Maybe it's having your conversion rate. Maybe it's not having the best social media, right? Maybe it's not including AI, right? That's a new thing in today's world, right? AI. Listen, the single biggest thing I see most of these brands make, the mistake I see most of these brands make, and they do it again and again and again throughout multiple different industries, is not getting their customers to buy from them again and again and again. And listen, all these big brands, Olipop, Liquid Death, Gymshark, they know that the true money, matter of fact, the true money profitably doesn't come from getting the fanciest ads, doesn't come from acquiring customers again and again and again. It comes from retaining the customers they already have. In other words, increasing their LTV, their lifetime value. And listen, the reason why that's so important is because it helps your company grow not only in the long term, but it helps it grow profitably and allows you to grow faster, right? I'll give you an example. If you have two people, right? Let's just say person A and person B have the exact same product. They have the exact same product. They have the exact same brand, same website, the best, same cost of goods sold, the best margins, the best ads, the same everything. But let's just say person A focuses on solely acquiring new customers. They focus on spending the most money on ads, getting the best, creatives out there, focusing on getting the newest targeting ads and everything like that. They focus on acquiring new customers again and again and again. Person B, on the other hand, focuses on retaining customers. That's all they want to focus on. Not the only thing, right? It's important to get customers. Trust me, I figured out the hard way. But their main focus at that point is getting customers to buy from them again and again and again. In other words, retaining their customers. You might have to spend, or person A may have to spend 2, 3, 4, even 5 times as much as I am. They may be outspending me in every way possible. But since person B is focusing on retaining their customers and figures out a channel that gets their customers to buy from them again and again and again, they may only need to spend a quarter of the amount of money person A is spending, because every sale I make or person B makes, they make profitably, right? And every time you make a sale, you may outspend me in every way possible, but you have to spend money continuously every single time you make a sale. In other words, you're always shooting yourself in the foot because you're cutting yourself short of your margins, right? Opposed to person B that only has to spend money to acquire a customer once, but since they get that same customer to buy from them again and again and again, multiple different times, they're making 2, 3, 4, 5 times as much as person A is. So listen, I've heard this quote, and I think it's one of the wisest things I've heard. It's easier to retain a customer than it is acquiring one. That's just facts, right? But in other words, right, acquiring new customers is always going to be more expensive than retaining existing ones. And I think that's what most of these big brands you see, like Olipop, Gymshark, Liquid Death, all these big brands figure it out. And it's not focusing necessarily on putting all their chips in only acquiring new customers, but figuring out, okay, how can we get the current customers that we have to buy from us again and again and again? And I think that's what takes them to the next level. So then the question becomes, what is that channel? What is that place that I can get my customers to buy from me again and again and again? And listen, I think a lot of people nowadays overcomplicate it. They think, man, I have to get the best retargeting ads out there. I have to get the best social media posts, and I have to get the newest, AI platform tools, and focus on affiliates and SEO and UGC. That's something new. But the problem is, for every single one of those channels, I'm not saying don't do it. It's good to diversify. But the biggest thing with those things is maybe outside of social media, you still have to pay either a company or a person to actually get the people to buy your stuff to make a sale, right? Affiliates, you got to pay the person, right? Retargeting ads, you have to pay Facebook most of the time, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, right? All those different things, SEO, there's a bunch of different things. And although maybe aside from social media and some Google type of forms you could advertise, most of the time you still have to pay money either to a person or a company to make that sale, right? So although you might be able to get people to buy from you again and again and again, are you doing so profitably? And if you're not, then what's the point of even doing that, right? Aside maybe from diversification, but aside from that, like, what's the point? So you have to find that channel that makes your CPG or Ecom brand make sales profitably again and again and again, that retains your customers. So what if I told you that there's a channel that allows your customers to buy from you multiple times, again and again and again? A channel that actually builds a stronger relationship with your customers, a channel that actually embodies what your brand is, as far as colors, tones, words, characters for some companies, right? Styles. What if there was a channel that is able to make you sales that literally could equate to 40% of your total revenue without having to spend a single penny to do it? And that channel, my friends, is called email marketing. The amount of brands I see overlooking their email channel is honestly laughable. Because the funny part is that, like, all the big brands, Olipop, Gymshark, Liquid Death, Skims, Prime, Allbirds, all these big brands, they know the power of having a proper email channel set up, because at the end of the day, it's the only channel out of all the ones I mentioned that allows you to get your company out there and get people to buy from you again and again and again without having to spend a single penny to do it, right? And since they know the value in actually setting up their email channel, they're the ones that's spending the time and effort to curate their email channel. They're the ones that's spending the time to actually build out a system that gets their customers to buy from multiple times. They're the ones that know, like, listen, when they look back 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, when they're looking to be acquired by one of these massive companies like Coke or Pepsi, Facebook, Amazon, that acquire a lot of CPG or Ecom brands, having that channel is going to help them sell for 2, 3, 4, 5 times as much as they wouldn't have had if they didn't have a profitable source of revenue coming in, right? And that's the difference between them, those big CPG and Ecom brands, opposed to all the other brands that want to be like them, right? And aside from the obvious things that most people know about email marketing, obviously, like reaching customers instantly, $0 to actually use it, increase your average order value, increase your LTV. Another big thing is like tailoring your emails based on specific lists and segments. All those things are great, sure, right? But the biggest reason why you have to get your brand to use email marketing, if you really wanted to take it to the next level, is that no one is doing it. Literally, it's a blue ocean right now. Like, as I mentioned, I personally audit 2 to 3 companies a week, and the amount of companies that don't have an email channel, regardless, have an email channel that's set up properly, is crazy, right? Most of them don't have it, and although that's like maybe surprising, it's like, okay, well, like, get on it. That's great news for you, because at the end of the day, if your brand doesn't have email marketing, sure, you may see it as a downside, but like the good thing is nobody else is doing it, right? Comparative to all the CPG and Ecom brands that exist. A lot of them may at least have something set up, but they don't actually have time to curate or actually put in the effort to make it as good as they can, because at the end of the day, they're literally 40% of missed sales are happening because you don't have that channel set up. If they do have an email channel set up, most of the time they barely are, they're sending very inconsistent campaigns. They don't have somebody dedicated towards it. They're not putting all their effort into it, right? And this is why I made this video, because like I almost want to scream at you, like, get on email marketing. Like, it's by far, like, it's literally a blue ocean strategy. Like, it's literally like no one's doing it comparative to all the people using it, and it's so important. And listen, if you could take anything from this video, is like, get your email channel set up. At least get it set up properly. At the very least, you don't have to get all the fanciest people on your team. You don't have to get all the crazy stuff and build out like 50 plus email flows, but like just get the basis of it set up, right? Set up your basic flows, right? Start sending out 2 to 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week with your campaigns, right? Get a solid pop-up form on your website to acquire your new email subscribers, right? Get your content calendar on check. Like, get people to actually set up an email content calendar and actually be able to send those emails out. Do all those things, but again, don't half-ass it. Do it well, because at the end of the day, that's going to differentiate yourself from your competitors that barely have an email channel, if they even have an email channel set up at all, right? And again, have somebody dedicated towards setting up that email channel, right? It's not only setting it up, running it, right? Look at getting somebody in-house, right? Look at partnering up with somebody that's done it with multiple different brands in the past, right? Look at partnering up with an agency, right? Look at partnering up with an agency. If you want somebody that will run your email channel properly, get you crazy results, but more importantly, has done it in the past for multiple brands and will work with you on a 100% commission basis, we do that. Look at the description. Find some ways to get your email channel set up. And if you can't do it alone, it's totally fine, but find somebody else that can. So the question then becomes, like, do you want to keep pushing email marketing down the road another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months and not really do anything about it, like most unsuccessful CPG and Ecom brands do, that never get it to past the next level, right? Or do you want to be one of those big brands like Olipop, Gymshark, Liquid Death, Skims, Prime, Allbirds, all these big brands that actually do something about it, take action, and have somebody dedicated towards setting it up, right? And then that becomes the real question. So if you could take one thing from this video, it's get your email channel set up now. don't wait, because the next thing you know, once people find the true value of it and how profitable it becomes, everybody's going to start doing it. And at that point, it's going to be 100 times harder, and it's going to be a whole mess, right? But get it set up now. At the very least, find somebody that can set it up, right? And if you want help with that, we're more than happy to see if we could possibly help. But at the very least, set it up. Do something about this now, because the next thing you know, it's going to be too late. All the brands are going to be doing it, and that's going to be 100 times harder for you to do it by yourself. Hey, but listen, hope you guys enjoyed the video back in the studio. Yeah, so those were, well, I'll put it to you that way. That was my rant for the day. But listen, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about, anything that we talked about today, questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. Just send me a, DM, Instagram, Reel, whatever platform you're using. Just comment, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. But aside from that, again, if you have a CPG or ecom brand that wants to scale their business in on a 100% commission basis with email marketing, more than happy to see if we could help. Just reach out to us. All the links are in the description. And yeah, that should be it. So again, wish you guys the best. Hope God blesses you in every way possible, and see you in the next vid. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.